So anyway, around that, remember on 420 as well, you had WWE had WrestleMania 41, and it was in Las Vegas, which is very significant because Las Vegas deals with the gamble. Many are called, few are chosen, and that's why the main event was John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. So that road go into that narrow path, and that code goes into solving the code. As it's written in Exodus 34:19, those who come out the matrix are mine own, are mine. So that code goes into studying to show yourself approved, learning the name. By the name ye are saved, learning the Lewis eternal name that they blaspheme all day long. Like I said, once a Mason hit Mark degree in the 33 degrees of Freemasonry, they become a Lewis, a false Lewis. So when you understand, the 41 is very important because it goes into like the after the trip, the time of probation, after the time of tribulation. Like 40 days, 40 nights of rain after the flood was the 41st day. So it deals with the 41. So you see, that's why they had to have it in Vegas, because they know we're going into that time where we're about to come out of that great tribulation, and those who are called will enter into the kingdom. That's why it's dealing with that gamble. Notice it was the bloodline involved too. You had Jey Uso, who won the championship, the heavyweight title. You got Roman Reigns, hint the bloodline, which I'm going to get into the bloodline talk because that just goes into Judah, the holy kingdom of Judah, the bloodline gathering. We are in the time of the gathering. Many should gather unto him, as it's written in Genesis 49:10. So that's why John Cena had to battle Cody Rhodes, because it's just the John the Baptist blasphemy, on that Cody Rhodes, getting ready to exalt the Messiah being exalted, overcoming that American nightmare, being led into the Exodus. That's why in 2023, John Cena, that's why he's the bad guy right now. He's the heel right now. He went from the baby face to the heel, because that heel goes into that time of Satan head going to be crushed by the heel of Christ. So now, it goes to how, no longer, being in the world, but not of, being in the world, but not of it, and overcoming the world. So now you're hated by the world. As it's written, we are abominations unto the wicked, and the wicked are abominations unto the righteous. It's written in the book of Proverbs. So that's why John Cena was in the fast lane in Indianapolis, because, he dealing with, remember, Cody Rhodes do the crossroads move. And in the fast lane, that deals with the dealing with the road. So that goes to that crossroad. That's why John Cena got hit by the crossroads move by Cody Rhodes. And Indianapolis is the crossroads of America. You can go north, east, south, or west. The crossroads of America. And he was in the fast lane, and he ended up in Vegas battling Cody Rhodes. That's why in the book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 13, it goes into talking about that, about how the gymnasiums, all of that is all was created by the Greeks to blaspheme against, heaven and keep people's hearts uncircumcised with their sports, So you see, that's why John Cena had to use that tie. Remember, he was in the elimination chamber. The chamber deals with the altar. So the American nightmare, the Cody Rhodes, he was in the elimination chamber. Remember, he joined up with the Rock. The Rock is just duality, because Christ is the rock, the stone. And John Cena became an enemy of the world. That's why he started saying, y'all dress like me. I don't want to be like y'all. I don't like none of y'all no more, blah, 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 Because when you see Cody Rhodes, that all goes into that whole theme of basically, overcoming, that American nightmare. Eliminating Satan off that altar, blaspheming the altar, as it's written in Psalms 118:22, that the builders, aka the Masons, reject the stone, which is Christ.